Imagine the quiet crunch of gravel at 2 a.m. in rural Arizona. A flashlight beam jerks across dark windows like a trapped moth. Metal scrapes metal. Someone is fumbling with copied keys at your front door. The woman holding them whispers furiously about HOA rights and emergency aesthetic compliance. She has no clue the homeowner's wife is already on the line with 911, voice like frozen steel. This is Assistant U.S. Attorney Elena Reyes. Breaking and entering in progress. Suspect is armed with burglary tools on federal interest property. What happens when the queen of clipboard tyranny picks the wrong veteran's door to test her power? Buckle up. This one ends with handcuffs, seized assets, and one very public nervous breakdown. The trouble started 3 years earlier when Elena and I, Mateo Reyes, moved onto my late uncle's 35-acre parcel outside Prescott. Uncle built the place off-grid in the late 80s. Solar array half buried in desert scrub, deep well, propane setup that could run a small village. I needed the quiet. An IED in Kandahar left me with a spine that screams most mornings and legs that mostly cooperate when they feel like it. Elena, federal prosecutor specializing in public corruption and civil rights cases, saw the land as healing. We added wheelchair-friendly paths, a woodworking shed for therapy, and called it home. Then the subdivisions crept closer. Suddenly our deed got swallowed into Red Rock Vista HOA. Enter Karen Whitaker, 54, former strip mall realtor turned self-appointed guardian of suburban perfection. Within months she rammed through covenants to protect our investment. Translation: anyone who didn't look like they belonged in a Zillow listing had to go. First violation notice targeted the solar panels. Unsightly industrial equipment, the letter sneered. $1,800 daily fine until removed. I showed her the grandfather clause from 1994. Karen didn't blink. New HOA, new standards. Veteran or not, rules are rules. The way she said veteran sounded like she was spitting out something sour. Elena read the letter, knuckles white. She just handed us pattern evidence on a silver platter. Next came the anonymous health and safety complaint, demanding interior inspection. Elena laughed once sharp. HOA covenants stop at the front door. No warrant, no entry. Ever. Karen doubled down with a fake propane leak call. Fire crew showed up at dawn, found nothing, billed us $450 for the prank. Karen shrugged on the phone. Better safe than sorry, right? We started cameras. Simple legal motion triggered. Neighbors, retired Sheriff Deputy Ray, diner owner Sophia, began whispering. Karen had forced 3 families to sell below market in 2 years. Guess who listed every single property? Whitaker Realty. Then the well water turned rainbow slick with diesel. Solar lines severed. Propane hoses sliced. Happened while we were in Phoenix for a VA appointment. Cameras caught it all. Whitaker's maintenance truck, plate crystal clear. 2 guys dumping cans and cutting wires at 1:14 a.m. registration. Whitaker Maintenance LLC, sole owner, Karen Whitaker. Elena's eyes lit up like Christmas. Safe Drinking Water Act violation. Federal felony. Minimum $25,000 per day plus prison time if intentional. EPA arrived. Soil samples. Criminal division. Karen panicked, called an emergency HOA meeting to slap every homeowner with a $12,000 infrastructure safety assessment. Ray stood up calm. Bylaws require 75% approval for special assessments over $5,000. You've got 12 people here. Math ain't mateing, Karen. She turned purple. Board emergency powers. Ray smiled thinly. Emergency powers don't cover extortion. That's when the welfare check started. Anonymous tips. Dangerous disabled vet stockpiling weapons. Deputies came 3 times. Found 2 legal hunting rifles in a locked safe and a man who invited them in for coffee. By the 3rd visit, they were documenting her for misusing 911. Karen escalated to social media. Vague posts about dangerous elements lowering our standards. Then a cease and desist claiming I was harassing her, hinting my VA benefits could complicate matters if I kept complaining. Elena actually laughed out loud. ADA retaliation plus witness intimidation. She just upgraded this to a federal civil rights felony stack. Veterans groups rallied. Sophia's diner became HQ. Documentation folders grew thick. Karen's financials leaked sunshine. HOA dues funneled to shell companies. Properties bought cheap from harassed owners, flipped for 6-figure profits. Unreported income north of $280,000. IRS loves that math. She tried one last Hail Mary. Spray paint on our garage at 3 a.m. Freeloaders out. Dead coyote on the porch. Cameras caught her contractor again. He flipped in under 2 hours for immunity. She paid me $4,000 to send a message. Said disabled guys break easy. Karen's developer partner was calling loans due. Bankruptcy loomed unless she forced more sales fast. So she did what desperate tyrants do. 2:03 a.m. Tuesday. Motion lights snap on. Karen Whitaker creeps up with a flashlight, crowbar, and a ring of freshly cut keys. She tries our lock. Fails. Tries again. Metal grinds. She mutters, "I have master access rights. This is community business." She moves to the bathroom window pries. Wood splinters. Our floodlights blaze. Every camera angle perfect. Elena, commas a judge. 911, Assistant U.S. Attorney Elena Reyes. Burglary in progress at 1127 Coyote Ridge Road. Suspect using forced entry tools. Related to ongoing federal RICO and civil rights investigation. Send everyone. Sirens stay silent, stealth approach. Karen's still prying when 6 deputies plus 2 FBI agents light her up like a Christmas tree. Hands where we can see them, ma'am. She spins, flashlight blinding herself. This is HOA business. I have every right. You're under arrest for burglary, trespass, possession of burglary tools, and felony conspiracy, Deputy Hayes says. You also violated a standing restraining order. Anything you say. She keeps talking. Confesses everything. On body cam. In front of witnesses. To federal agents. The emergency HOA meeting 2 nights later was standing room only. News crews. Live stream. Karen shows up on bail, looking like she slept in a dumpster. She tries to speak. Elena stands. Ladies and gentlemen, Karen Whitaker faces 14 federal counts, ADA violations, hate crime enhancements, environmental felonies, embezzlement, wire fraud, RICO, attempted bribery of a public official. Evidence includes 94 hours of footage, financial trails, witness statements, and her own recorded confessions. Karen screams, "They don't belong here." Property values. Elena holds up her phone. That right there? Disability-based hate speech. On camera. In public. Mandatory minimum just jumped. Deputies cuff her again. The room erupts in cheers as she's let out, still yelling about standards. The HOA dissolved that night. A voluntary community group replaced it. Seized assets, funded a veterans workshop on my land, and legal aid for harassment victims. Property values? They climbed. Turns out people like living where bullies lose. So here's the final bitter pill. Was Karen Whitaker the monster who abused power, or did the system that let her wear the crown for so long bear the real guilt? Drop your verdict in the comments. Justice, or just another Tuesday in HOA hell?